He is our special guest right now. We are going to meet Tom Wesley. Good morning, Tom. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you here. Our pleasure to have you here.
Breaking through to the Springfield radio market here, on the left side of the district.
There you go.
Well, it sort of resembles the Loch Ness Monster, you know, all the way on the eastern edge, trying to get all the way out to 495, which is where I reside. I live in Hopedale. And so that Milford, Bellingham, Millbury side, it sweeps westward across the plains here on either side of the Mass Pike. It's Springfield and includes Agawam, and scoots up north, like the head of the monster, up the Hadleys into Northampton. So very interesting, very interesting.
Now you're a man with a business career. Do you have a political background?
No, I'm a career citizen, not a career politician.
Career citizen. We don't have many of those. That's it. Well, that's great. So you reside in Hopedale, you work in the life sciences, and you have decided to toss your hat in the ring. Why this year?
Well, look, I started my career as a midshipman at the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy. Took an oath of office to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Became a naval officer, became a Navy pilot. I've defended my country. I've been in public service since I was 18 years old. I had an opportunity to go off into the public sector. I worked in defense and aerospace businesses, Fortune 500 size companies, sales and marketing operations. I've run factories. I've manufactured product in this country. I know what it takes to build something here. I know what it takes to add value and to create jobs. I'm looking at this as a patriotic duty, quite frankly, to continue. And that oath of office I took has no statute of limitations. And so as I look at this country and how good it's been to me and what it's provided for me and what I'd like it to provide for my family and their children for the rest of the century, I see it a great risk. And so I'm raising my hand and saying, Coach, play me.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, it's interesting you should say that Richard Neal is a brand name, and I think quite clearly on the western side of the district, that's a true statement. On the eastern side of the district, he's a ghost. People will tell you we never see Richie Neal unless he has a federal check to hand out, or there's a vote that he can participate in, or a photo opportunity that he can get a picture in the newspaper. So it's different on that side. So the issue here is representation. The issue is really, is anybody paying attention to me? And sort of shame on us in this district when you think about it. He hasn't had a challenger for 14 years. And it's ironic that we have two.
Now, why do you think that is, Tom? Your personal opinion of why no one has opted to go up against Richie Neal in all that time?
Well, I think there has been this aura of the brand out here in the West that he's unstoppable. But he really also has stayed under the radar. You know, for a man who's been in office for 22 years, there's not a whole lot of legislative clout behind him. I mean, of course, this beer bill is a good thing. You've been following that, and I do support the beer bill for the record. We reduce the taxes on craft brewed beers, but really, his legislative agenda is pretty lightweight.
As far as his legislative agenda is concerned, if you were to pick one particular issue that just really is a starter for you, that if you're going to pick one issue that you absolutely are at loggerheads with Congressman Neal on, and you would change if you had the position and the opportunity to do so, what would it be?
I think it would be this issue of amnesty. He co-authored the bill to provide amnesty to illegal aliens, and I think that's just plain wrong. And he'll continue to do that, I think, right through this summer, and it may become one of the defining issues of the summer.
That's correct, yeah.
A lot of hard work and reaching out to the constituent base.
And he didn't mention his name because I told him before we went on the air that I was going to mention his name. But Tommy had been waiting for me. What differs you from Jay Fleitman? People now, I know we're going to be late on the break. Let's do this real quick. People now have two choices to make in the Republican Party where they really haven't had one before. Why you and not Jay Fleitman?
Well, look, I bring a different skill set of experience, a different bag of tricks, if you will. I've been involved in my community, certainly. I'm sure he has as well. I'm a naval officer. I've spent time in defense of this country. I've made deployments out to the Western Pacific. I've worked in the Pentagon with the Joint Chiefs of Staff. I've worked with the Chief Naval Operations Staff. I have defense background. I've had an extensive international career starting in 1975. Each of my jobs really has involved international business. I am a businessman. I've worked very large-scale businesses. I've worked with governments, foreign and U.S. governments.
I am so up against the clock, but this has been very interesting. Stay in touch with us, Tom. This has been very good to meet you. And in 5 seconds, why Tom Wesley?
Look, I'm your neighbor. This is our Congress, and most importantly, this is our time.
Thank you, Tom. We'll talk again. 814 WHYN. Good morning.